See if they get pictures of Petty getting out, Fred. That's going to be the picture. Petty getting out from the ENG in 43.
How long?
Hoosier putting the neck band on.
Right.
The celebration is on in Victory Lane. Let's go to Chris Economaki.
And here we are with the winner. How tough a day was it, Neil?
Chris, we had to work for it. You know, we were up there running good early, and we wanted to stretch these tires and see what we could get out of them, and we carried them too far the first time, and we got a lap or two down, and this thing just kept plugging away all day, and just Valvoline Pontiac, I'm telling you, just came on back.
How's that bad leg of yours?
Well, I hadn't even noticed it starting to hurt. Every time I get out of the car, when I'm in there, I don't think about it.
Neil, Kenny Bernstien, who owns Ricky Rudd's car, says he's going to file a protest contending they won. You think there's any validity to that?
Well, I mean, you know, Kenny's a good car owner. If he wants to file it, we'll just see what happens. I don't even know what it's about, but I did my job. I'm through for the day.
The car's got a lot of dinks and dents on it. What was the toughest part of the race for you?
Well, right there at the end, Shepard cut a tire down and got me all up in the wall, which he couldn't help it. He was on a flat, and they just about got by me right at the end.
How you feel?
Oh, I feel good. Feel
okay,
great.
Congratulations, Neil Bonnett. Now let's go down pit road to Mark Allen with Kenny Bernstien.
And as you said, Chris, Kenny Bernstien thinks you won the race. Where do you think the scoring error was?
Well, when the caution came out and those cars stopped under green and the caution came out and caught everybody down, we were still out there. We were in good shape. And it shows on our sheet where the 75 car actually pitted on the green before that caution came out. We're quite certain that we won the race. If we get it straightened out with the scores, I sure hope we can.
Well, they have to take it to NASCAR immediately after the race and file an official protest, and then it will be ruled upon. So controversy in Victory Lane and here on pit road.
And the story of Richard Petty, the man who made a comeback that no one will ever forget. That's the story we'll come back to after these messages on the Superstation as we report to you live from Richmond, Virginia. See, they've rolled the other car down. Now they're pushing 26 into Victory Lane, Fred. And Richard's down here to my left. You got Petty standing by, Fred?
We're back live at Richmond Fairgrounds Speedway. Let's take care of a bit of business down here. We are still trying to sort out who has won this race. There's a great deal of controversy. No doubt that Dale Earnhardt has the True Value Hard Charger Award over Neil Bonnett in the race for that $5,000 from True Value. Earnhardt piled up a lot of points early, then got in trouble late and faded back into the top 5. The Timex Speed Track computers go to Neil Bonnett's crew. He unofficially had the fastest lap of the race. That was early on when he was making a charge up to the lead. And this is the first victory ever for Hoosier Tires in Winston Cup competition. I'm going to give the Mac Tool $1,700 award today to Bob Newton, the head of the Hoosier Tire Company, the president of the company, their first Winston Cup short track, and they won it. Now, let's see if we can figure out who has won this race, because that controversy is continuing between Kenny Bernstien's crew, the 26 car of Ricky Rudd, and Neil Bonnett, the apparent winner. Ken, any further word on who's done what here?
Well, we just watched the NASCAR officials, Les Richter and Dick Beatty, walking across the track over into the infield. We saw them push the number 26 car down toward Victory Lane. Neil Bonnett is still there, and at the moment, he has the victory. We're trying to get a word with Richard Petty. as well as any update we can give you as to what has happened on this first place. For the moment, the Neil Bonnett victory is standing. Richard Petty's car number 43 has just been rolled back. It has gone up to the scales for its inspection, and in victory lane is still car number 75. Let's go back on pit road for a moment and see if we get a word from Ricky Rudd. Mark?
Well, there is a lot of debate here in victory lane. Ricky Rudd is standing 20 feet away from Neil Bonnett. Ricky, what's your version of all this?
Well, there's no doubt about it. Our car won the race. Neil had lost 2 laps. He made 1 up. He was at the tail end of the lead lap, no question about it. You know, what's a daggum shame? I feel like they're going to get this straightened out, but our guys are cheated out of victory lane for the time being.
What can they do? How can they adjust things on short track as wild a race as this was?
Well, I guess they're going to have to go back and look at the score and readjust the finish. Like I say, there's no doubt about it. I know there's some questions on their part, but there's no doubt about it. Neil had lost a couple laps early in the race. He got 1 back, and he's at the tail end.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind? There was certainly a lot of doubt in other people's mind, particularly NASCAR scoring, as to who was where in that final 75 laps.
There was no doubt about it. They told me I was leading the race. I looked at the scoreboard. We're on the board. You know, I had a chance to go by Neil right there at the end when Morgan Shepherd blew his tire. I said, shoot, there's no sense taking any chances. We're leading the race. Why should I do it?
2 men who think they won, 1 victory lane.
Well, down here on the start-finish line, you can see the NASCAR officials. There's Harold Kinder and I believe Les Richter, Dick Beatty are all down there. Some of the other NASCAR officials gathering together, talking about, it's Jerry Cook, I think, and they're talking about what's gone on here today as they try to sort this race out. We'll be back with...
There goes Beatty and Richter right there.
And there they are. There's Les Richter and Dick Beatty going back over to check some scoring cards. We'll be back in a moment.